What comes to mind when you think of Christmas? Santa and his elves? Maybe. A massive feast? Why, of course. However, one thing I'm sure you didn't think of is horror. Although you may have thought of The Nightmare Before Christmas, or maybe even a classic tale like Krampus. But alas, today I want you to focus your mind on Five Nights at Freddy's. That's right, the game where a man in his fursona costume kills a bunch of kids and gently guides them on the path to becoming furries themselves. He even gives them their own fursuits to start with. Very, very Christmassy, am I right?
I don't want a lot for Christmas.
But on a serious note, I was sat at my desk scrolling on Game Jolt a few weeks ago when I stumbled across something incredibly special, and that was Christmas with Freddy's, a FNAF fan game built in the classic Five Nights at Freddy's gaming style, but with an extra festive touch. Now, with all that being said, I'm Striker and I'm going to be taking you on a festive ride through Christmas with Freddy's. Now buckle down that subscribe button and grab yourself some Yule log and let's begin. Upon opening the game, we receive a special email from Fazbear Entertainment themselves, reading, 1 hour left. Remember, the name of the winner will be said in an hour. If the winner does not accept the offer, another winner will be chosen. So everyone keep an eye on your emails to check if you are the winner. Good luck. And so we click accept and jump straight into night. Oh my god, this bedroom looks fantastic. It looks so warm and cozy. I literally have that sister location poster in my house. Well, by in my house, I mean rolled up and on the floor. Anyways, enough fangirling over the cozy little bedroom, we need to take a look at the actual night. Now, spoilers here for most FNAF games and fan games too. Nothing really happens on night one. Nothing. And I know this is devastating news, but don't worry, whilst we wait until 1 AM, I'm going to throw out a little bit of the game's lore at you. Don't worry, I'm not going to go super in depth, I don't need to. So, we are presumably an adult who has signed up to a competition of some kind. Now, the prize for this competition, a hamper? No. An exotic Butters basket? Closer. The answer is a full set of classic Freddy's animatronics for your own home. Why you'd want this, I have no idea. But I do have to admit, they are really cool looking, and I think the fact that the dev decided to use the Rockstar animatronics as a base for the Christmas characters in this game is amazing. As if we think back to Pizzeria Simulator for a moment, as highly as I praise that game for being the best in the series, it does make the mistake of heavily underutilizing the Rockstar animatronics. Now, these are easily some of my favourite designs for these characters across the series, and it's a shame they never got put to use in the classic FNAF style format. Unless you count Ultimate Custom Night, but yeah, I don't think it really counts as they aren't the stars there. That title clearly goes to Trash in the Gang. Secondly, if you couldn't already tell from how the email looks, this FNAF fan game draws plenty of inspiration and concepts introduced in the infamous Five Nights at Freddy's special delivery. And not only does it take the concept of the animatronics being delivered to your house, but it also makes use of many of the game's assets and renders. Or would you look at the time it's... And we've just received another email from Fazbear Entertainment. This time reading, get yours today. Fazbear Entertainment is giving you the opportunity of having your very own Christmas animatronics today. This offer gives you a coupon of 90% discount on this year's pack, containing the following animatronics: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Lefty. To accept this, please click buy now, that is just below. If you don't want the offer, please click on cancel to send the offer to another winner, and upon clicking accept, we get yet another message. God, they're really making this difficult to accept. So many words. But anyway, this one reads, thanks for buying our special Christmas pack this year. We know that you don't know how to use the Christmas pack, so we gave you access to the control panel of the animatronic. There you can read all the tips and updates of each animatronic. And one last thing, in 1 hour we'll send you a report where you must say if you have any problem with the animatronics or delivery. Thank you again and enjoy. Welcome to the animatronic control panel v1.0.1. This is incredibly important to the gameplay moving forward, as it gives us accurate information on how each character functions. We can see that the icons for all 5 of the animatronics in this game, as well as the renders for them if we click on the icons. However, only Freddy and Bonnie's pages are completely filled out with their mechanics as of right now. The rest just say installing CPU, come back later, and we certainly will. But first we need to take a look at our 2 animatronics which have been delivered so far. Starting with Christmas Freddy, whose entry reads, do not close doors when he is activated, he cannot open them. Now if you think about it for a second, this seems really counterintuitive. Surely he's just gonna massacre me, right? That's what the animatronics in this series love to do. And if you dear viewers thought of that situation, then you are correct. Well done. So to deal with Freddy, just slam the door in his face. You'll be fine, trust me. On the contrary, Bonnie's entry reads, do not flash repeatedly, he'll avoid flashing lights like flashlights and fireworks. Now its mechanic works pretty similarly to that of Withered Foxy from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Now upon clicking accept in the CPU menu, we're treated to a neat little cinematic showing that all of our animatronic friends have arrived in their packages. It's time for oh wait, I forgot to mention something crucial. This game doesn't use the regular Five Nights format, instead trading out for an hourly format. Basically each quote unquote night takes place in the span of an hour each. Now we still have to survive until 6 AM just across 6 longer hours rather than surviving 5 nights. But I think I've made my points, let's go into hour 2. So this hour is relatively easy and is comparative in difficulty to night 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Only Bonnie and Freddy are active, making use of the mechanics I listed earlier. So I think we can safely jump straight up to 2 AM without much issue, where we have a little bit of intermission before hour 3. Firstly, we have to fill out this report form. I think some of your answers here can affect the future nights, but I didn't confirm this whilst playing. Now, after filling out this report, we get a notification that the control panel has new tips and updates for the animatronics. So let's take a look, shall we? Freddy's mechanics are the same as before, with the added thing that he can now hide in dark places like rooms or closets. However, he will leave the room if no children are present when he jumps out and yells surprise. Do not hide from him anywhere like under beds. Essentially, alongside closing Freddy out of the room like last night, you can now hide under the bed to evade him. Bonnie has also got an upgrade within the last hour. However, it is the exact same as Christmas Freddy, so I'm not going to explain it again. Also, Christmas Foxy is now active and his page reads, he'll detect all children in a large range. Do not hide from him under beds. So as we are done with prior mechanic, just hide under the bed when Foxy appears in the room. Now, Lefty isn't active on this night, but his page has been updated since the last hour. It now says, CPU out of reach, possible problem, animatronic stolen / lost. Yeah, that definitely isn't going to be a problem later on in the game. Totally. But there's nothing else left for us here. It's time to move into hour 3, which is, as expected to be, harder than the last, but there's not really much going on here as the gameplay is relatively the same. Minus the jump in difficulty as well as Foxy spicing up the mechanics, so I feel like we can speed on ahead to the top of the hour. We have received 2 brand new emails, the first of which being in answer to the report we filled in just an hour ago. Oh, for me, around 2 hours. I really struggled. Anyways, mental trauma from that experience aside, let's read out the first of our 2 emails. Dear client, we have talked to the delivery man who delivered you the Christmas package, and he confessed that one of the animatronics got lost on the way. We will try to find it and send it to you as soon as possible with no extra payment. Thank you and sorry for the inconvenience. And for the second email, it reads, the control panel has new tips and updates of the animatronics. Check it out as soon as possible to know all of the new functions and changes within the animatronics. Now, before we move any further, I want to point out that you get practically the same email every single night, so in future I'm going to gloss over it so I don't bore you to death repeating myself. Distractions aside, let's go look in the control panel again to see how quirky the animatronics are getting. Spoiler alert, it's not very quirky, as only Chica has had an update, which means she's finally going to be active on the night, and her entry reads, do not close doors when she is activated. She cannot open them. Yeah, this is definitely the weakest hour of the group, and that's only really in terms of new mechanics, but this is definitely a huge jump in terms of difficulty now that Chica has been introduced, even if her mechanic at the moment is really simple and easy to deal with. The amount of things to watch out for definitely kept me on edge, and this pattern will certainly only repeat into the later hours. But yeah, again, we can fast forward to the end of the night where we receive yet another email. This is what it reads. Dear client, we have found the last animatronic, Lefty, but unfortunately he got damaged from the accident and all of his Christmas decorations have disappeared. We'll send Lefty and we will refund you the cost of Lefty, plus 15% for the inconveniences. He'll be there in an hour. We hope you enjoy the whole band now, thank you and enjoy. And from there, we are thrown straight into hour number 5, which all I gotta say is pretty difficult, but it's very repetitive, due to no new mechanics being added whatsoever in this night. However, the increase in animatronic AI levels did keep me on my toes, and I died quite a few times. 2 hours and 21 minutes of me dying, to be exact. Anyways, as we have done for the past few nights, let's fast forward a little bit straight up to 5 AM. Now, we have one more email to read. This time it reads, Dear client, Lefty should be there right now. We remind you that the animatronic is not totally safe, brackets, damages in CPU. If you click accept, then you'll leave us with no responsibility on what will happen from now with Lefty. Lure, encapsulate, fuse, transport, and extract. And with no other option, we click accept. Now pause a second, what the hell just happened? Well, welcome to the final hour of Christmas with Freddy's, and the most difficult one by far. All the animatronics have slightly tweaked out, and then brand new mechanics were just flashed upon the screen. Firstly, we can't let Lefty inside the bedroom, or well, we die. We must hide from both Freddy and Foxy, or we die again. And lastly, you have to use the flash on Chica and Bonnie, or yes. Also, all of the animatronics have received a neat black and white makeover, as well as a new annoying mechanic which, if you are prone to mistakes like I am, the night can just go on forever. And what I mean by this is that any animatronic other than Lefty can't kill you during this night. Instead, they will set you back 15 in-game minutes. And with how aggressive they are at this point, you have to be on your A game to win. I certainly wasn't. Take a look. And it went on like this for a few hours until finally I was graced with Okay, hold up, wait a minute. An 8-bit minigame, now this is where things are gonna get interesting. So after defeating Lefty in the final hour, we find ourselves playing a semi 8-bit style FNAF minigame. And I say semi because if you look carefully, the sprites are actually 3D and stand out from the background, which is entirely different from the classic Scott minigames of old. Now we seem to be in a factory of some kind, and to progress we must head right. As we pass through each of the rooms, we discover some of the other animatronics just not fully constructed yet. We can see Bonnie missing his green eyes, and we can also see Chica, but she's just generally disassembled. Now after walking for a little bit, we reach what seems to be the front door, but it's locked, and to find the key we have to head all the way back to the room with Bonnie on the table. Simply interact with the toolbox beside our favourite bunny boy, then quickly run back to the door to unlock it. Now upon entering you think, never mind, I'll just play the scene and explain it after. So it seems that whoever this woman is seems to be experimenting on the Christmas animatronics, in this case Foxy and Lefty only, and upon activating the animatronics both of them start freaking or tweaking out, with Foxy turning into his black and white version and Lefty's eyes going purely white. Now this is before she notices Freddy and runs towards us, which I think is only a reference to another FNAF minigame of old. Now other than the credits, which do have some awesome visuals, there's not much else to Christmas with Freddy, but I think that's why I like it so much. It's really simple and works so well. Yeah, there's a few issues to do with translating, but I do think the dev's first language is not English, and it certainly doesn't take away from the gameplay that much at all. But if you did enjoy this much shorter video compared to what I've been doing, make sure to subscribe and also like this video, it helps out a lot. Now if you're willing to do all that, then you should just join the Discord too, it's linked down in the description below. But Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.